Claude CoWork is where Claude moves from being a chat assistant to a true task executor. Unlike regular Claude, which shines at answering questions and generating code or text, CoWork can read, write, edit, and organize files directly on your local desktop within a specific folder you control. It's perfect for multi-step workflows like report automation, dashboard building, or presentation creation. Basically, any repeatable process where you feed it raw inputs and get polished outputs. What makes CoWork stand out is its folder-level scoping. You pick one folder, grant it access, and CoWork stays contained there. No risk of touching unrelated files. This gives you powerful automation with built-in safety, ideal for project work where inputs like CSVs, spreadsheets, and notes need to become reports or decks. For this demo, I've got a classic project manager scenario. Weekly status report automation. Every week, they get raw data from 3 sources: a task tracker export, a budget sheet, and team notes, and manually compile it into PowerPoint for leadership. CoWork eliminates all that grunt work. Here on my desktop, you can see the 3 input files: tasks.csv with columns for task name, owner, status, due date, and priority across 10 sample rows for our software project. Budget is an Excel file tracking category, budgeted amount, spent to date, and remaining for 6 categories, and team notes with bullet point updates from 4 team members on completions and blockers. For our first step, let's set up CoWork with a project folder. I'll create a weekly folder on my desktop, move those 3 files into it, and configure CoWork to scope just this folder. This folder-level scoping is crucial from a security perspective. It creates a strict sandbox where CoWork can only read, write, and execute within these boundaries. No access to your broader file system, no risk of unintended file modifications, and complete control over exactly which project data Claude can see and touch. Now, CoWork has full context on the project data and will not operate outside the scope of this folder. Next, I'll have Claude consolidate and analyze the data. I'll tell CoWork, read all 3 files in the weekly report folder, summarize overall project health, and then I'll ask it what percentage of tasks are complete, which ones are overdue, how much budget remains across categories, and pull out the key blockers from the team notes. CoWork then scans everything and delivers a clear project health summary covering task completion rates, overdue items, remaining budget, and the main team blockers. Next, I'll have CoWork generate the Excel report. I'll say, using Claude in Excel, create a new file called Weekly Report in the Weekly Report folder with 3 tabs. The first tab should be a task summary with a clean table of status counts and overdue items highlighted in red. The second tab should be a budget overview with remaining budget per category and percent spent. And the third tab should contain blockers by owner with a recommended action column you fill in. CoWork then launches Excel, builds the file on my desktop, and delivers exactly that: task summary with red highlighted overdue tasks, budget overview showing variances, and a blockers tab with actionable fixes for each owner. Now, for the PowerPoint deck, I'll have CoWork create a file in the same folder with 5 slides. For slide 1, an executive summary with overall health as green, yellow, or red, plus 3 key bullets. Slide 2, task progress visual with complete versus in progress versus overdue pie charts. Slide 3 would contain a budget status snapshot by category. Slide 4 contains team updates with 1 bullet per member. And slide 5 must have risks and next steps with blockers, owners, and actions. CoWork spins up the PowerPoint skill, crafts the deck with charts, colors, and clean layouts, ready for leadership review. Finally, I'll have CoWork organize and archive. My final ask will be for it to create a folder called Status Reports, have another subfolder by date, move the 2 final Excel and PowerPoint files into it, and archive the 3 source files into a subfolder called Source Data. CoWork handles it perfectly. New folder created, files organized, and sources tucked away cleanly. This is a game changer. What used to take a project manager 2 hours of copy pasting, formatting, and slide building now happens in minutes with one conversation. CoWork leverages virtualization to safely launch Excel and PowerPoint, executes through specialized skills like file analysis and office automation, and orchestrates everything across your folder scope. It excels at structured workflows, weekly reports, monthly financials, client deliverables, even code reviews or content pipelines. Scope it to a folder, describe the goal, and let it execute. For data pros and PMs, it's like having a junior analyst who never sleeps, always accurate, and perfectly organized. Try it on your next recurring tasks, and you won't go back to manual. Thanks for watching.